Spirit Sports Consultants presents
Understanding the NFL betting line for 2023. We think you'd agree that it's difficult to make good wagers if you don't understand what a good line is, so we'll talk about that here. But before we continue, we remind you to please subscribe to our channel. We know there are a lot of channels like this, but for us, we provide weekly NFL picks, highlights, sports travel, and also some wagering analysis such as in this video here. Remember that sportsbooks set a betting line with the idea to get an equal amount bet on each side. This is not a prediction, because they profit off 10% commission from all losing bets. They're not predicting it. They want to balance out the money on the favorite and the underdog. And what you can do is spot line mistakes. Don't follow public and profit. We're going to look at two things here: how to calculate the baseline, what the original line is, and then public perception changes based on recency bias. First off, we have a game from this week, week 8 of 2023, and then we have an example from last season as well.
First off, we're going to see the averages, and all they do to take these numbers is look at scoring average for offense and defense. Second is subjective factor, it's perception, team record, and the recent performance. And finally, perception insofar as how the team might appeal to public bettors. So record comes into play.
In fact, record is something we look at to go contrarian, looking for teams that aren't as good as their record. And then also home field. Sometimes home field advantage can be inflated, such as short road underdogs such as Atlanta, Carolina, Green Bay, Chicago, really close. All right, let's jump right into an example from week 8 here in the 2023 season to show you the formula that's used and how closely that comes up to the line. We're going to start out with the line. The line is Detroit being favored by 8. And we know what the formula is because we've interviewed oddsmakers out in Vegas. Here it is. The road forecast equals road scored plus home allowed divided by 2, the average therein. The Raiders average 16, Lions average allowed 22. The average of that is 19 points. So that's what we're going to give the Raiders for this game, 19. Now let's look at the Leos, see how they've got. They got 25 points a game scored, going against the Raiders 23. Well, you can look at that. It's a pretty easy average of 24, right? We'll do it the long way. 25 plus 23, 48 divided by 2, that's 24. So we're going to set the Lions with a projected score of 24 points base. So I use the term base because we're not quite done. We've got to factor in the home field edge that Vegas gives the home team, and that does range from 2 to 4 points. In this case, we'll split the difference to give the Lions a 3-point home edge. We think it could be a little higher. Gives them a final score of 27. So with a projected final of 27-19, what does Vegas set the opening line to be? That's Lions minus 8, based on the forecast of what they think the final is going to be. They would adjust it based on money and percentage of bets. With that game, there were no real perception modifiers based on the prior week, but let's look at this example from 2022, Dallas and Minnesota, to show you how what a line should have been was affected by public perception and what we call recency bias, what happened last game. So for this game, we calculated an early line of Cowboys minus 7, but then what happens? The Vikings beat Buffalo in a tough one. Cowboys lose in a heartbreaker, so Vegas sets the opening line at minus 1 Dallas, value of 6 points. We jump all over that, and the Cowboys cruise to a 40-3 victory. Some examples from 2023, the Ravens blowout win over Detroit. The Dolphins 70-20, huge victory over Denver, then they lose the following week. How about Minnesota, upset win over the Niners on Monday Night Football? Another point we want to make is that these numbers are based on averages. Look for opportunities where those averages aren't really accurate. Like Detroit, it's one reason we use that example. They got killed by Baltimore last week. Threw the whole numbers off. They should be higher than that. Should be favored by probably 10 to 11 points over the Raiders. So we want to see you calculate your own lines. Take our advice. Do that before the lines come out. Join our site. Become a member. We'll provide our early line calculations for you.
That's all for this time. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe to our channel, and we look forward to sharing our future videos with you.